first, it is going to be Tawera Nikau leading the Storm out in the absence of Glenn Lazarus. They bounced back to winning form last week after 3 losses on the trot, downing the Roosters 26-8. 5th spot on the table going into this round with 9 wins and 6 losses. So no Glenn Lazarus again. Wayne Evans replaces him. Chris Anderson is the coach, of course, and he'll be keeping a close eye, no doubt, on the number 6. That's his 21-year-old son, Ben Anderson. A lot of experience in this side, but when you talk about Anderson, well, he's one of the newcomers, really lacking experience, only his 8th first-grade appearance. And what a year Matty Guy is having. 2 tries for New South Wales in Origin 3. And Jeffrey Tuvey leaves the Manly Sea Eagles out onto Brookvale, coming off a 28-point loss to the Sharks at Shark Park. They've never beaten Melbourne, losing both matches played. Just 4 wins from their 15 matches to date this year, and all 4 of those wins were here at home. Peter Sharp is the coach, and out of his 8 matches so far, Peter's had 4 wins, 4 losses, 50%. And you can see their number 18, Phil Adamson, back from the UK, slotted straight into the 17, even though he's in number 18, if you get my drift, Gary Freeman.
Yeah, well, he'll certainly be happy that he's out there, along with this man here, Hopewadi. He's been playing First Division for the last 8 weeks, and he's got a reprieve here today, in his 9th week, and I'll tell you what, he'll be looking for a very big game, and probably a very disciplined game at the same time. That's what his coach, Peter Sharp, will want.
Manly started the round in 15th spot with the worst defensive record in the comp, bar Western Suburbs. Stephen Clark, he's backing up from Origin duties as well. The video referee is John Yard. He signals time on, and we are underway. Round 17, and Gardner, he'll play it on the 20. So important for the Manly forwards to get on some sort of a roll here. So important for them to gain some parity up front with this very big and mobile Melbourne Storm pack. Kosef, well, that's an early mistake from Kosef, one of the Origin players. He'll be disappointed with that. An opportunity now to go sideline to former international Steve Mortimer, and this is not the sort of start Manly wanted, Steve.
No, possession is 9/10 of the law, Greg Clark, but the conditions down here, even though we've had quite a bit of rain earlier, is quite steady, and I'm sure the players will have their long studs on rather, so they can get some good traction on that field.
All right, well, they're 22 metres out now. The Melbourne Storm, great early field position for them, and this is Evans straight ahead. Plays it back to Swain. Howe. He ran into Tuvi Kamali to Nikau. Nikau got it away to Marquette, but it's forward. It's been called back, so a let-off there for the Manly Sea Eagles. They had some numbers out to the left. The pass went forward.
Yeah, it certainly did, but Watara does a great job. He goes across the field there, finds a little hole just outside the halfback, and Brown can't just get in front of the pass. Very lucky there, Manly. Could have been an easy 6-pointer.
To the short side they go now. Terry Hill plays it. Back to Frew. Frew up to the 20. The Melbourne Storm, while they've been very good at home again this year, they haven't won in New South Wales, and Glenn, that's a bit of a bogey for you.
Yeah, but we've only played here 3 times. So, yeah, look, it's something that we didn't realise, but you know, that's not the factor. The fact that we're playing in New South Wales. Obviously, we're not playing all that well in New South Wales for some sort of reason, I suppose.
Well, maybe you'll turn that around today. Manly on the halfway mark, and Brown gets the kick in. The bounce is a good one for Robbie Ross. Can't link up with Marcus Bai on the far side. The defence was a good one. Torrens, the ball and all tackler. Penalty. Well, they moved up too early on that occasion, Manly. You just cannot afford to give Melbourne penalties to get out of their own territory, because they'll punish you. Now it's Howe. He makes it to the 30. 2 Seagulls defenders in there to put him to ground. Swain waiting for it at dummy half, and Kamali hands it to Evans, and that was forward. 2 forward passes so far in the match to the Storm.
This is what the Storm love to do, though, Greg Clark. They love to hit the ball on the advantage line, get off Kamali, and take it right to the nth degree. Just fraction. The worst part about it is probably Kamali passing the ball and running back to the same part.
That's one you got in 2.
15 from halfway now. Torrens plays it back to Turvey, and now it's Kosef straight ahead. Nikau over the top, wrapping it up ball and all. Evans underneath. Turvey looking for the runners, finds Gardner. He's taken by his opposite number. And Manly, when they have been able to string some wins together, they've been able to put some points on the board in the first half. 30% of their points have been scored in the first 20 minutes in their matches, and that's the highest percentage in the NRL, so at least they're heading one stats department. Down at the bottom of the table alongside Western Suburbs, Brown goes to the air, over to Marcus By's wing, and By takes it well.
That's against Brett Kamali, shoulder him out of the way. Mate, he was nowhere near the ball. You can't shoulder him out of the way.
The penalty goes to Manly against Kamali.
I think this will happen to a lot of clubs too in the upcoming games. Well, I don't even think he even got to him, but I think the referee's been told if they run a player off the ball, they've got to be penalised.
So it's now Manly with a great opportunity to post first points on the board. They're under pressure down at the other end of the park not so long ago. Turvey waiting for Cunningham to play it. It goes to Brown. Brown got it back there to Terry Hill. He had no room to move though. Solid defence there on Hill as well, and Terry's shaken.
T, come have a listen, mate. To be fair to the touch judge, mate, he called it straight away. He said he had a doubt about it. When the guy didn't get up, he was going to see if we could get an advantage out of it and let them play, but he didn't. He thought he got him high, but he wasn't sure. He thought it was around about the 10, so it's going to be on report. High tackle and a penalty amount. Okay.
Well, here's the ball. This is Terry Hill taking the ball there. Look, Steve Kearney's there. And he's all right there, Terry. I think this is where it comes down. He makes contact with the ground. And I think that's where he's actually injured himself.
So a shake of the head there from Terry Hill. 13 origins for the Blues. 9 tests for Australia. Still in a distressed state. He's going to come to the sideline, is he? No, he'll stay on.
Well, I hope he's going to be all right, fellas, but I agree with you, Lazo, that linesman comes in and says he might have done that. You know, and a referee places him on report. That's bad news. Like, if you see it, then you come in and report it. If you're not real sure, then you keep your mouth shut.
I think it's a comment, Terves, from a person that's probably feeling a little bit of pressure from a higher authority. I think he may be a little bit afraid if he did miss it, he might have gone into trouble.
Oh, there's nothing wrong with that.
Just,
they are kidding.
I don't know.
Well,
it is rugby league, guys, isn't it?
Well,
really.
I'll get myself in the trouble if I say too much, so I'll just leave it at that. And about to say that Kearney will have no problems with that come Monday afternoon.
But a great opportunity here for Manly to put some points on the board. Adam Brown, their halfback. Didn't get too many opportunities last week against the Sharks. Up just below the 80% mark as far as his success rate goes in 99. Brown and Manly. The flags go up. The Sea Eagles lead by 2 points to 0. Stephen Kearney on report. And we come back to the halfway for the restart. Got a big crowd over on the far side. Cold, wintry day here at Brookvale. 6 minutes gone now in Kamali. Kicking off. So they'll start this set 15 out from their own line, the Sea Eagles. Turvey again a dummy half to Gardner. Nothing wrong with the back row for Manly. Menzies, Gardner and Kosef. They're going to have to be on their game today to match this Melbourne Storm side. Hayden to play it now. This is Cunningham. Still inside their own territory. A couple of tackles remaining. Turvey having a dart out of dummy half, picking up Hopewadi. What a first touch of the ball for the man back in first grade after 8 weeks. And he manages to stay in the field of play. Well, that'll give him plenty of confidence, the big winger. Now they go to the ground, sending a Siri Lane back in goal. Can he get out of there? He fires it over now to Marcus By. No. Good chase by Manly. The Storm chanced their arm there, trying to get out of the in-goal area. That's good pressure by Manly. Started from deep inside their own territory, Gary.
Hopewadi is the man. Gets on the outside of Kamali. Just brushes away with a bit of a right-hand fend. Usually see Hopper with so much air, but I tell you what, this is a great covering tackle here. Robbie Ross right around the bootlaces. Now as Manly go back on the attack.
And this is Driscoll, averaging 16 hit-ups per match. He's the leader in that department for the Sea Eagles. And Brown linking up with his fullback Andrew King. Centre field about 26 metres out. They lead by 2-0. And Tuvey, Menzies back on the inside. And got the pass away. Driscoll to Gardner. Anderson over the top. Underneath it was Wayne Evans. Kosef takes him on straight ahead. Playing with a bit of confidence, the Sea Eagles at the moment. Great field position for them to go wide. Hayden. Intercept. Kamali. The little legs are pumping. Terry Hill coming from nowhere. Kamali over the 30, the 20. They won't get him. Runaway try against the run of play. The intercept. And Kamali had the legs. So they've hit back the Melbourne Storm. They lead by 4 points to 2.
And if Kamali hadn't taken that pass, then the Manly side were going to score a little 5-8 here. Goes to the line, holds the ball up the last second. Thought he was going to give it to the inside man. It wasn't. Kamali comes up with a great take there. Terry Hill's chase, unbelievable. He was knocked out just previous, and he just gets to the line. Another 10 metres. I reckon Terry Hill had him picked up. A very good work there by Kamali, the Melbourne's half. Pretty easy put down, isn't it? One-handed.
Geyer tries to turn 4 into 6. They like it. The touch judges' flags go up. And so it's Melbourne leading the home side by 6 points to 2. Heartbreak there for them, the Manly side, Steve Mortimer.
Well, look, that really went against the trend of the play. The first 10 minutes for Melbourne Storm as well, I think, been quite ordinary, but nevertheless, Brett Kamali was there on the spot. He ran and outdistanced Terry Hill, but Terry Hill, I've got to give him a rap too. He kept Brett Kamali out there rather than going in under the post. But Manly, certainly in this game, with just a little bit of luck went against them just then.
Now it's Kearney. 22 metres out from his own line. Martin waits for a dummy half. Evans. Taken by Tuvey. Also in there was Damien Driscoll. Here's a penalty.
The penalty's come ready from Tawa and Nikau at the back of the ruck. He's standing with his arms in the air, waving to the referee, saying, get him off, get him off. You just see him, he's on the right of screen now. He goes down Evans. The playing ball's very, very slow. And Tawa is calling out like crazy, and Evans is sort of looking at the referee. They won't let me up, sir.
10 metres inside Manly territory. It's the Melbourne Storm now. And Evans getting up towards the Sea Eagles 30. The skipper today, Nikau, turns it back inside. Kearney pops it out the back door to Swain. He runs into Tuvey. Tuvey takes him ball and all. Nikau, this is Marquette. Well and truly inside the red zone now. A couple of tackles remaining. Kamali, Anderson. Anderson dummies. Good defence by Menzies. Copybook stuff that. It's a final tackle now. Geyer kicks it straight into the arms there of Gardner. Bit of a juggle, but he saved the day, Gardner. Great hands.
This is where Melbourne's got to really get off the player quick, because the penalty will be given shortly by the referee.
Tuvey got the pass away. Kosef will play it on his 20. Hopawati keen to get involved. Offloads to Kosef to Lyons. He picked up the run-up, but the gap soon closed as Swain and Kearney got him. Hopawati again. Phil Adamson getting ready for his first taste of first-grade football back in Australia after the stint in the UK. Kalala is out there also for Manly, so Peter Sharp using the interchange bench. But it's a Storm. This is By, up over halfway. Penalty goes to Melbourne.
Corrala's a man who's just been penalised. Tuvey saying to the referee, no, he's got to be able to hang on to the ball. Marcus By going to the line. It's a one-on-one tackle. And that probably should have been play on, with Tuvey only come into the tackle as the ball was stolen. As Rodney Howard gets it back to the Storm now and back out to By on the wing.
In fact, it's Lang over on the far side. Asiri Lang on the right wing today, By on the left. This is Kamali.
They look like brothers, don't they, Glenn?
Yeah, well, we're lucky that Asiri's wearing a thigh protector thing there. We can tell them apart by that. So they look very similar.
Russell Bowden now, about 6 metres out from the line. Kearney stepping, looking to offload, got it away to Ross. Gardner came up with a try-saving tackle. Kamali and Anderson. Anderson getting very close to the line. Brown the tackler, ball and all. Now it's Kamali. He goes to the air, kicking for Asiri Lang's wing. And Hopewadi takes it under a bit of pressure in goal. So we'll come back to the 20 for the restart.
It's the best start I've seen Hopewadi have in a game of football. Now he makes... Oh, what about that? Get out of my road, Mikal. I'm coming straight through.
Good run by Hopewadi and the crowd enjoying his return to first grade today. And now the inside pass. They're 5 from halfway, Manly. Torrens to play it. Kosef, good strong run inside the Storm territory. Melbourne lead by 6 points to 2. Penalty.
Well, it had to come, didn't it? It had to
it wasn't
come.
a crowd one.
Melbourne testing the referee, and eventually it had to come. But I'd like them to have done it down on the 10-metre line rather than up here on the 40.
You stand here waving your arms like you will be waving my arms to you, and you'll be going over to sit down, right? No, will you stop waving your arms around?
Well, you can wave your arms around. Just got to alert the referee to what you think is wrong on the field. Look, all he's saying is, come on, if you're going to penalise us, why not penalising them? And he can't tell the player, I don't think. You keep waving your arms or you'll be sitting on the sideline. What a joke. What's going on?
Well, this is Adamson. First touch of the ball for him. Manly looking to hit back, looking for their first try. Kalala bounced out of a tackle, looked to offload. There was no one there. Centre field now. Tuvey gives it to Lyons, running across the face of the ruck, and he fires it out to Gardner. Terry Hill, that dummy half. Hill goes to the short side. Adamson. And he's lost the ball. Not a great start for Phil. He won't be happy about that.
I'll tell you what, if you got the ball there, though, that was certainly going to be a try there to Andrew Frew. You've got to try to get the big left arm free. He was going around the back of the player. Watch him, look at this. Oh, it was very, very close there for Melbourne.
Howe crunched there by his New South Wales teammate, Kosef. Marcus Bai playing like the extra forward in this Melbourne Storm side. Swain to Kamali and Bowden. Pops it back to Gaia on the wing for New South Wales and the centres for the Storm today. Ben Warty to Robbie Ross, to Nikau. Nikau, great run by the skipper. He's got Ross on his hip, gives it to Robbie Ross, and Ross will take the tackle. That's the 30. Final tackle coming up now for the Storm, and Kamali running to the line. Got it out to Warty, pops it out the back door. Kamali, he'll go to the air now. Who wants it? Taken by Ross. It came off a Melbourne player. Marquette losing his footing, but the tackle count starts again. Real problems now for the Sea Eagles. The Storm right down in the red zone, and they go wide. Asiri Lang stepping. Asiri Lang can't find a way through. Swain to Rorty. He'll play it a couple of metres out.
Melbourne have got to go wide.
Kamali took the tackle. Gardner wrapped him up, ball and all, and Kamali a little slow to get to his feet. Now it's Anderson. He throws the dummy. Running out of tackles in this set of six. And the pass is not a good one. And it's been knocked on by Bowden.
He really put that mistake down to the little halfback, still down injured. The ball went to go wide from Robbie Ross. Knocked on by Bowden. You see they just lost all their direction around that ruck area straight away, and the big fella was found out in the centres. As you call him, Noddy tries to get to the scrum, but so there's something is either wrong with his knee or ankle in the tackle before.
I mean, two things to come out of that. One, I think Melbourne, very, very pedestrian there, didn't really know where they were going, but again, Manly's defence was quite good there. I feel as though we need to give them a rap for their defence on their own line.
slippery conditions today.
Yeah, I was just about to say, Greg, I mean, it's an old cliche game, but you know, in these sort of conditions, whoever controls the ball best usually wins the football game. And at the moment, well, both sides have been guilty of plenty of handling errors.
Yeah, a lot of people put that down from Melbourne's point of view to the fact that you're prepared to promote the football and have a go.
That's why they're leading the tries scored this season for a team.
Well, it's Melbourne again after the Manly mistake, and Anderson double round there with Guy, or Ross, in fact, who came up from fullback, and good defence by Cliffy Lyons. Now it's Howe, and he puts it down. Both sides have got a real case of the dropsies at the moment.
Pretty ordinary ball there, thrown to Howe from the dummy half area. Manny Guy throws the ball right out in front of him. Very hard for the big man to take. And you can see the look that he does give the centre. We'll not see that too many times.
This looks could kill. Oh. Matty Guy, that would be brown bread.
This is a run from Frew out of dummy half and Steve Mortimer's sideline. Uncharacteristic handling mistakes really from these two sides.
Look, the side that's going to have the less error count at the end of the day is going to win this game. Manly, I think, have been willing to play the ball battle, and we're just seeing Jeff Turvey make a break. Then they're playing the ball quicker, and it's allowing the likes of Jeff Turvey to set up his attack.
The crowd appealing for a penalty on that occasion. It didn't come. But now it's Manly out of the danger zone for the time being, inside the Storm territory. And Lyons had a look and opted to go to the Yare. Ross takes it, 12 out from his own line.
He's just so safe at fullback there. Unbelievable. Had a great State of Origin series back from Melbourne. I think he's been one of your best players all year, Glenn.
Yeah, he has. In fact, the back three have been very, very good for us this year and last year. As a front row and as a captain, it's very reassuring and pleasing to know that once the ball goes behind you or in the air, you know more times than not it's going to be covered up by one of the back three.
Possession 50%, Manly 56% of the match so far played inside their own territory. They've had some scoring opportunities though. And Melbourne's try, the runaway intercept against the run of play by Kamali. Swain gives it to Kamali now. It was a good chase from Marker to put a bit of pressure on Kamali, and the bounce was good for John Hopewate inside his own 20. The chase is pretty good as well. This time there are three of them there. There's no way through for the big winger. Turvey having a breather on the sideline. Andrew King, the fullback.
He's been good out of dummy half, hasn't he, Turvey? Setting up the short side raids all the time. And now
Jimmy Sidaris with that play the ball. And Jim's 200th first grade appearance today. Really good servant of the Manly club. Wide they go. Terry Hill stepping, got away from Martin, but the cover was too good. He came across and held him up. Now thrown into the turf there on the 10. Sloppy play really, but they finally get the kick away. Needed to go deeper, Gary. This is a great attacking platform now for the Storm.
Well, what Melbourne did do well, then they put a real good chase on that. The kick too wide there, and Hayden, where he just didn't take a stop and started to rush it, and that's come up only with about a 15-metre kick.
I was looking forward to the duel between the two number 4s today, Greg. The number 4 for us, of course, Tony Martin, who's receiving a few raps now, and people have labelled him as a future star, and of course Terry Hill, who is a star at the moment, so it'll be interesting to see who comes out on top in that department.
Well, they go to the short side now, the Storm, and the inside pass. But Manly have been pretty solid on their own try line on defence. Rap Rorty up. Now it's Kamali. Back on the inside, this is Rua. And Rua, the young Kiwi, already one test behind him. The grubber kick from Kamali. He kicks it into his own man. And so it's play on.
Good referee there by Stephen Clark. Played the advantage. The ball goes straight through the...
Leave it early. Yeah, absolutely.
He's got Kamali for leaving early, and Denny Williams hobbles his way back.
He's had a bit of trouble in the last couple of weeks with an ankle problem. I just hope he hasn't re-injured the already sore ankle, because it'll be a blow for the Storm. He's been playing wonderfully well, particularly the last couple of weeks.
One thing I do like about him too, just quickly, Greg, he plays it nice and tough right down the middle of the ruck. He's not scared for anyone to come down the middle.
Well, they're testing the referee. Evans and Rorty.
I tell you what, they're going to have to be very careful because another penalty, and I'm sure that Stephen Clark will send either players to the sin bin.
Yeah, Wayne Evans and Ben Rorty just holding out just way too long. I mean, you know, when is the player tackled, I ask you?
The referee will tell you.
This is Gardner. Sedaris gives it to Kosef looking for runners. It's gone to ground. Picked up though, but they'll be called back for the knock on just as Torrens thought he was away for a 4-pointer.
It's the first time I've seen Melbourne, really. They've been hanging off in defence, waiting.
Yeah, Chris
comes
Anderson
off his
won't be
shoulder
very happy with that.
Yeah, they usually get up in the face of everyone. Well, I thought they might have been playing since it's come off his shoulder.
Well, neither side prepared to settle down and control the ball, so the game's still open as far as what we were saying earlier about whoever controls the ball is going to win the football game.
Well, this is Martin, taken by Frew. The completion rate at this stage, 50% for Manly, and Melbourne just a shade better, 6 out of 10. Ben Rorty, former Canterbury Bulldogs lower grade player. Melbourne, plenty of experience on the bench. Look at that. Howe and Nikau and Marquette. Also in there is Danny Williams, who, no, William, yes, in 14. Williams has that ankle problem, so he's on the bench. 6-2 it is. Melbourne over Manly. Almost 25 minutes gone at Brookvale. King allows it to bounce. He's taken there by Anderson and also Matt Rua.
Some of the Manly players now struggling to get back on side as Hopewadi takes up another head up. It's been pretty strong for them in this opening 20-odd minutes in the game. I've noticed that Terry Hill is not out there. And Menzies has gone into the left-hand centre position.
I think in these sort of conditions, you've got to play it quite simple and just do some crosses or turn the ball back in rather than trying to get it out wide, because it is slippery conditions, and the more times the balls go through the hands, there's more opportunities for errors.
So Driscoll will play it now, about 18 from halfway on the final tackle. Hayden gets the kick away. Robbie Ross perfectly positioned. But not a great pass. And it's gone forward. Zero tackle and it's gone forward.
Well, I'll be interested to see a replay if we can get one of this pass. I'm not quite sure about that, but anyway.
The touch judge gave him the call.
Well, if that's forward,
that looked to be all right to me.
Yeah,
I'll back up there too. But I was called by the linesman.
Keep it in lock. Matt Rua, down.
The referee did say thank you very much, Scotty.
Now it's Torrens. Brown a dummy half to Hayden. Linking up with Gardner. Great ball, Menzies over the top, Hopewadi. Asiri Lang, a try-saving tackle over in the far corner. Manly, they're down by 4. Melbourne leads 6 points to 2. Sedaris, he's about 10 metres out from the line. Tuvi, he's had a breather, he's back out there. Hayden gives it to Brown. Brown dummies, they don't fall for it. He pops it out the back door. Driscoll over to Hayden. Switch of play from the 5-8. They're not going anywhere at the moment, Manly. Driscoll heading it up towards the posts. One tackle remaining. Brown on the right, Hayden on the left. It goes to the right to Brown. And now Adamson. Phil Adamson in the one hand. Popped it out, but no, it went forward.
Been kicked out, it's now 20. 20's been kicked dead by Manly. Jeff, it's a 20, it was kicked dead by Manly.
So it was kicked dead by Manly in the end.
Struggle around there. He just got the ball up. It's gone forward. A little bit unlucky there because he can offload a ball there for Adamson.
Marcus by.
It's good defence won by the Melbourne side, but the attack on their left-hand side, Gardner and Menzies, it's great work.
And there's been a fair bit of drop ball in this game, but it's certainly been an entertaining game.
A fair amount of forward passes too,
Well,
just
that's
quietly.
the 4th forward pass, I think, the Melbourne Storm have done, and something's just got to be done about that. It's just a matter of discipline. You just don't pass it.
I don't know if that ball was forward either, but the linesman was right there.
No crowd draws, mate. I don't like that.
Hayden back on the inside. That's Andrew King, the fullback. Cunningham. It's all right for Manly to be parked down inside the Melbourne Storm territory, but they really have to start showing some points for the team or the field position that they've enjoyed in this first half so far. They've had opportunities. The Storm haven't had their line broken so far. Just the one penalty to Manly. 3 Storm defenders in there to shut the movement down. Brown gives it out now to Driscoll. He's wrapped up ball and all there by Nikau and also Swain. Tuvey waiting for it at dummy half. Brown puts it on the toe into the in goal, and it's going to beat everybody. So we'll come back to the 24, a restart.
Well, we gave Manly a rap only moments ago for their defence off the line. I've got to say, I've got to give Melbourne a rap there. That was a wonderful couple of sets of 6 of defence.
Driscoll's tackle there on Marquette, an absolute bone-cracking tackle.
And can I tell you, that must have been some tackle. To hurt Paul Marquette is an achievement.
Swain at dummy half, gives it to Rua. Again, he almost over-end the ball.
It's the way Melbourne play, though. They get on the advantage line, try and make that extra yards if the opposition are coming up pretty quick.
Kearney plays it. Still inside their own territory. And Kamali wants to do something about that. He goes to the boot. And Andrew King is sent down into the far corner to pick it up, only about 5 metres out from his own line. The chase is a good one. Lang got there. Also Gaia. Hopewadi trying to catch the napping down the short side. The big man does well to stay in the field of play. Torrens. That's the 30. Adamson. Popped a good ball around the corner. He got that one away okay.
Some of the Manly players might just hang back off Phil Adamson because he's only just, this is his first game for it, but if they stay close, tell you what, he can pop a ball.
So Terry Hill into touch, only just. No fault of Terry's really, the pass was a shocker.
No, he's on a hiding to nothing here. I mean, it was a monumental effort to stay in touch or stay away from the touchline of Marcus Boyd coming full steam ahead at him.
He's a classy player, Lazo, and as you said before, Tony Martin will know that he's played against Terry Hill today.
Kamali, 10 metres inside Manly territory. Anderson to Tony Martin, stepping. Can't find a way through, though. Defence stuck the tackle of King.
I think Melbourne got to look and see, especially the halfback Kamali. He's caught that first tackle, King. There's no one at the back for the next 2 tackles. Maybe a little chip over the top and chase your own kick.
Nikau to play it. Back to Swain. Howe. Settling run from the front rower. Kamali. Numbers out to the right, but he turns it back on the inside. Evans gives it to Ross. Forever looming up from fullback, Robbie Ross. He's 2 metres out. Menzies the tackler. Kamali stepping. Kamali stepping, still going. What a try. He's got a double. Brett Kamali. He bamboozled Manly on that occasion. They were waiting for him to do something to kick or to pass. He took them on, and he's come up with 4 points.
Well, he certainly did take him on. They raced out of the line to try and set up the play. But what about this take here by Robbie Ross? That is just unbelievable work. Then he gets down, gets a good quick play of the ball. Menzies comes up with a terrific tackle there, right around the bootlaces once again. Look, he's nice and deep. A Manly player comes flying out of the line. Gartner is the man. He beats 1, he beats 2. Good stepping, got even inside. Cliffy Liza score a very good try for Melbourne.
Second attempt at goal today for Gaia. Don't get any easier than this. No mistake from there. So heading towards a half-time break, it is Melbourne leading Manly by 12 points to 2, 34th minute.
And good news for Danny Williams. He's back out there. He's heavily strapped right ankle, but the fact that he's out there looks promising.
And one thing that will concern the coaches is really the completion rate from both sides. Trying to push the ball, and Melbourne really just getting out that advantage line just a little bit too quick.
Rodney Howe, he coughs it up. Great opportunity for Manly to hit back here. Kosef and Lyons, they keep it in the hands, and now it's been picked up by Marcus Bai.
Siri Lang.
Siri Lang, I got no worry. He's got the blue thing on.
Thigh guard.
The number 2 on the back. And what about the tackle from Menzies? If he didn't pull that off, Siri Lang was away. Now it is Nikau.
I was just talking about completion rates, and that was the first tackle. Rodney Howe did cough up the ball. Here he goes forward now. Good run, great tackle by Kosef and Gartner. There's those completion rates I was talking about, virtually nearly half. Both coaches won't be happy with that.
No, definitely not happy with that.
There's Marquette, back to Danny Williams. Not too much wrong with the ankle now. It's heavily strapped, but he was able to get the kick away. And now it's Hopewadi who got away from Williams. Won't get away from Rua, though. This is Frew. Step out. What a run from Frew. The gap opened up. Robbie Ross to beat. Andrew Frew trying to get on the outside. Great run from Frew. No dummy half there. Oh. Tragic for Manly. No dummy half, and now if Siri Lang comes away with it.
Well, the kid had to play the ball, because if he didn't, he would have been penalised. And I'll tell you what, that ball there was virtually forward, and Matt Rua give himself up.
That's the halfway mark. But they keep it alive. And now it's Swain, gives it to Tony Martin. Martin puts the foot on the gap, and Marcus Bai can't control the pass, just over into the shade.
Both sides of the players really grabbing their heads, saying, oh, what am I doing? This is the play of the ball. He's done the right thing. He had to play it. He was just standing there. The players just didn't get themselves there to get that ball from the dummy half area.
Yeah, Gary, I think in future he might just have a look first before he does play that ball. He did everything right. He stayed inside the field of play too, but obviously he played there was no one there.
Yeah, but the big thing is, if he didn't play the ball, would the referee penalise them?
I could have gone down with an injury, couldn't you?
Look before you leap, Turv, you reckon?
Yes.
Penalty, Manly.
You can't line him, mate. Get up.
12-2 to the Storm. Manly would love a try before the break. Will it happen in this set of 6? Kalala takes them on. Picks up 12 or 13 metres. Kosef. Taken by Marquette. Back it goes to Tuvey. He had nowhere to go. Kalala. Got it out the back door, but it's there for the Melbourne Storm. Well, the Manly players, they just looked at it. The pass didn't have to be thrown on that occasion.
Well, they were in great attacking position, weren't they? But like you said, Koala just thought, well, I better pass it. He's dropped the ball.
He didn't touch her. He didn't touch him.
Well, Richard Swain wouldn't be feeling too good, because he's just committed two errors in a row. He gave the penalty away up here on the 40-metre line, and of course now he's dropped the ball cold, and that's probably fair enough too.
Don't apologise now. Hey, listen. Mate, yeah, I don't want either. Fair enough. Stand it up. I treat you with respect. I expect the same in return. That's all I ask for. You give him a
Golden opportunity here for the Manly Seagulls. You'll see Steve Menzies out there on the left-hand side of the field.
Referees got a complex these days. We respect them fully.
Oh, I think he was saying about what he might have called him.
Ah, right. Okay.
There's Lyons and Menzies running off Lyons, as you would expect. There was no gap for him to run into on that occasion. Now it's Kosef. Rodney Howe launched himself at his New South Wales teammate. Fortunately for Kosef, he didn't connect fully. And now it's a dropsies again. This time it's Cunningham who can't control it. Richard Swain couldn't pick it up either, but they'll go with the first knock on, and Owen's action says it all. He wasn't too happy about it.
What can you say? The ball's put out in front of you. You must be able to catch it. It's one of those things that put you under a lot of pressure, though.
keep it in, Locks.
And they're leading by 10 at the moment, and those stats would suggest that they should be leading by more, because they are first in the NRL on the attack, Melbourne rather, on defence. Melbourne conceding 15 points per game, 12 less than Manly, down towards the bottom in that stat.
Well, it's very hard to score points when you can't hang on to the football, and that's exactly what's happening out here with both sides today.
Now it's Evans. Now he throws it out the back door and hands it straight to Manly. Both coaches are certainly going to be addressing the handling situation at half-time. Now it's Terry Hill cutting back in field, picking up some good metres for Manly. As I've said before, they've had scoring opportunities and they haven't been able to finish them. But now it's Torrens into the clear. Torrens for the corner, and Manly finally have something to show for this territorial advantage. Torrens runs it around, and that's their first try in this opening half. It's 12 points to 6, kick to come.
Yeah, great work by Manly. Again, it's come down to a mistake by Melbourne. Just throwing the ball and Evans offloading when he shouldn't have to offload. Had to take the ball. And then this is the handover. He goes to the line, turns the ball back inside, puts unbelievable pressure on Anderson to come up with the catch. He doesn't. They go nice and wide. Look at the staggered line. That's a great ball, Cliffy Lyons, once again. Geyer and Asiri Lang caught in the wrong position, which allowed this bloke here, Albert Torrens, to go straight through the middle of ruck to score a very good try for Manly.
Yeah, as they spin it out, it just keep your eye on the winger, Asiri Lang, just a tad too late. And of course, when Cliff Lyons has the ball in his hands, he's beautiful to watch, and he's put the young centre through for a try that Manly desperately needed. Of course, as you said, with the territory advantage they have had, they needed some result, and they finally got it.
The extra 2, no problem. And that is half-time here at Brookvale Oval, the home of the Manly Sea Eagles. And at half-time, it is Manly leading by 12 points to... Well, here at Brookvale, they've gone back to basics. They've had the whiteboard out, trying to sort out some angles, no doubt, but I reckon they don't have to have the whiteboard to tell them that they have to control the football if they're going to beat the favourites today, Melbourne Storm. As the Storm make their way back out onto the park, Ben Anderson there, the 21-year-old son of the coach. His 8th first-grade appearance. Taura Nikau, the captain today, in the absence of Glenn Lazarus. He's talking to Marcus Bai there. So we're just about set for the second half here at Brookvale. A lot of talk pre-game and also during the halftime break, Gary, from people very interested to know what happened with further merger talks today. Manly talking about a partnership for the year 2000 in the NRL. I doubt that that's on the players' minds, though, out there at the moment as they try and pick up 2 vital competition points.
Well, the big thing for players, they're just going to make sure that they play well, and then they'll be in the merger. If not, you won't be in the merger, so they've got a lot to play for, both sides.
The restarter now, it's Rodney Howe doing what he does best, returning the football from a kickoff. This time it's Marcus Bai. Swain is a dummy half. Now this is Wayne Evans. A lot of merger talk, Steve Mortimer, but what was the talk in the tunnel regarding the next 40 minutes of football?
Well, Peter Sharp, Greg, basically said he was very happy that the Seagulls didn't drop their bundle with 12 points to 2. They were down and wrapped up Albert Torrens, improving himself for the kick, and he just basically said, I want to make an effort to you guys to make an effort to play the ball quickly, because he believes that the Melbourne Storm are slow to get back to their 10 metres, and he also said it gives our dummy half, either Sadar or Satuvi, an opportunity to dart from dummy half to offload to big forward. So he wants to do a few crosses and turn the ball back in. Chris Anderson, on the other hand, said, look, don't get frustrated, we just can't let them back into the game. We've got to use the ball, as Gary Freeman called it at half-time, make the most of those 6 possessions. But more likely, he also believes that 8 points might be enough to win this game, and he wants to see a lot more sting in the tackles. He just feels that the tackling's gone a little bit soft, and probably lay that down to Big Lazo not being able to play today as well. He's up there with you guys, but he definitely wants more sting in the tackle. And a game like today, you know, he doesn't want risky offloads, particularly in your own half. So that's sort of the message from the tunnels, and I agree with you guys that the team that makes the less mistakes in this half is going to win this game.
Well, there's a kick from Frew, and it's going to beat everybody, is it? Yes, Robbie Ross watches it roll over the dead ball line, so we'll come back to the 20 for the restart. Siri Lang, Glenn Lazarus, our guest commentator today. And Glenn, you've had 10 minutes or so to contemplate what happened in the first half. What about the second? What are you expecting?
Well, yeah, if the Storm go out and do what the coach has said, we'll see a lot less handling errors. We'll see a more patient football side, and we'll see a side that not only tackles with a bit more vigour, but also runs with a bit more vigour. He feels that, you know, the side's just lacking a bit of intensity at the moment, and you know, and it'll be too late if Manly get you know, sort of 4 to 6 or 8 points in front. It'll be too late to sort of try and lift that intensity. So we need to do it straight away. We started off all right, and a game without stating obvious. Whoever just controls this football and is prepared to complete their sets of 6 and kick it downfield and keep the side down in their end will win the football game.
But now it's Manly, about 19 out from their own line. Tuvi gives it now to Kosef. And he's ridden into the turf there by Nikau. Tuvi waiting for it at dummy half. Cunningham. One tackle remaining in this set for Manly. So at least no drop ball so far in the second half from either side. Robbie Ross, a bit of a juggle there, but picks it up 20 out from his own line. He's going to take the tackle of Albert Torrens, the try scorer just before half-time for Manly. Siri Lang still inside the Storm territory. Here's Howe. He's straight at one of the smallest men on the field, Hayden. But Cunningham was in there to help him out. Now it's Stephen Kearney. Got it back out the back door. And that's gone back, is it? No.
Well, that's the first pass that's been from an offload that has resulted in a mistake from Melbourne. They've had probably 3 or 4 sets of 6. And this is the ball going across the field. I think he's a little bit hard done by then. I thought there was play. You can see him actually smiling, but that was the first play.
Yeah, I just felt it was the wrong time to do it at a time where, you know, you need your side to settle down and get some continuity going. It just wasn't necessary to flick a flop back like that out and put pressure on your team to make sure, one, you take the ball and then look for some support.
Well, this is Gardner, a few metres inside Melbourne territory. Short ball. And good hands there. Good offload from Driscoll running to the line. The dummy, they almost fell for it, except Stephen Kearney right at the last minute shut the movement down. Hayden to play it back. Kosef to Brown. Gardner straightening up, back to Brown. Good work, Manly. Kosef over the top it goes. By raced up though and shut the movement down on Frew. Hill at dummy half to Brown. Well, was that a late tackle there from Rodney Howe? Brown is still on the ground. And the play's going to come back to the 20. We might need another look at the Rodney Howe charge down. This is Brown. Well, the elbow was lifted there. We may hear a little more about that one, but for the moment it's play on. I'll tell you what, the touch judge wasn't too far away from it either. But there was no report.
Well, there's
now the forward
pass, deliberate forward pass. They don't penalise anymore for a deliberate forward pass, do they? No. Okay.
So just a warning on the run there for Rodney Howe, just saying, the referee just saying, watch the late ones.
It's the body language from the Storm at the moment, and me being a part of the side, I've got some sort of idea what's going on. I just feel they're very, very frustrated at the moment. You can just tell with the facial expressions and the way they're communicating out there, that they're very frustrated, and just some of the actions that's going on there. Things just aren't going right for the Storm, and they're very, very frustrated.
King thought he spotted the gap. He was halfway through it before Nikau arrived. Brown. This is Kosef. Manly well in this match. They're down by 4. Terry Hill. Guy went low. Over the top of was Marquette. Tuvi to Hayden. Up to Driscoll. 22 metres out. Kosef. Wide it goes to Frew. Brown. He goes to the air. Not a bad looking bomb. Siri Lang calling for it and takes it brilliantly. And he carried it across the try line as the call. Took it in the field of play. Carried it across the try line. So we're going to have a restart. from between the posts.
Very good call there by Stephen Clark. Got himself in a great position to rule on that. As we saw then, he was in the field of play, then jumped into his in-goal. That's a goal line dropout.
And it was a great bomb too there, Gary, by Adam Brown, putting it up high enough so the Manly forwards could put a lot of pressure on Siri Lang.
45-metre dropout. And this is Driscoll. So a second set of 6 here for the Manly Sea Eagles. Gardner. Taken by Howe. Also in there was Evans. Cunningham. Ran at Kearney. Picked up another 5 metres or so. Plenty of determined running from Cunningham. And this is good field position now for the Sea Eagles. Hayden turns it back to Menzies. Nothing on there though.
Oh.
But now there is. Menzies for the line. What a try for Menzies. There was nothing on. But he refused to say no. And he's across for the opening try in the second half. Well, they needed someone to lift them. And Menzies has put his hand up.
It's unbelievable. It really come out of nothing here. Hayden was going to the line. He virtually comes to a stop, picks up Menzies inside. Swain and Evans are the men making the tackle. They didn't put him on the ground. I'll tell you what, that close to the try line, he's very, very hard to stop. And even Robbie Ross couldn't pull up the try-saving tackle.
Absolutely nothing happening here. He's well held here, and all of a sudden, just through brute strength, he's brushed those 2 defenders aside, and as you said, very hard to stop, and a very, very good try.
I reckon he'd get a gig on World Championship Wrestling the way he just throws these blokes down. There you go down you blokes. There you are. Off you go. Great try by Manly. I tell you what, Lazo, those couple of little errors early in the second half has let Manly back into the game, and they've capitalised on it.
Yeah, you're right, mate. It just wasn't the start the Storm wanted, but unfortunately now they're going to be playing against the Manly side that's got some enthusiasm about them now. They feel as though they're in with a wonderful chance of winning the football game, so it'll be interesting to see how the Melbourne Storm handle this.
Adam Brown, 100% for the day so far. And he maintains that perfect record. They're on their feet here, and it is Manly in the 50th minute, leading 14-12. The try scorer, Stephen Menzies. Well, can they go on with the job now, Manly? Pressure on Melbourne. Tested their character now to hit back. And that's the best way to do it. Stiffen up their defence.
It's one area that really has let them down, but they are missing Glenn Lazarus. And Robbie Kearns, I think, is a big factor in them missing him here today too.
And of course, the other one, I mean, Ben Anderson's doing a wonderful job, but
Scotty Hill
is just an integral part of the Storm's makeup, and to lose him for the season was a bitter blow for us.
Now it's Kosef up over halfway. Time in their own half. Melbourne now 56% inside their own territory. Final tackle coming up, and Brown looking for some open spaces, sending Robbie Ross back to the in goal. He's taken 10 out by Torrens. A couple of poor missed tackles costing Melbourne Storm in the second half. In particular, that one there when they allowed Menzies to keep the momentum going when he should have been well and truly held. And you can see there that Melbourne have had to make plenty of tackles here. Maybe that'll take its toll in the last 10 minutes or so. But that's the alarming statistic. Melbourne, with their much heralded defence, fallen off 8 more tackles than Manly, and that's a great chase by Manly. Penalty. And it's on.
Get away! Get away!
Rorty and Driscoll.
Get away! Get away! Get away! He was always in front of them inside the 10. That's the answer to your question. Daddy.
So the penalty will go to Melbourne.
I'll explain that in a minute. Just listen. Sure.
Manly, in fact.
through the first one, and I went from there, okay? No major damage or something. Okay, but he was certainly willing to get into it and have a go.
Okay, all right. Come in here. I'll explain that here. The reason he's offside, he was always in front and he was always inside the 10. That's why the penalty. Even though it was a charge down, he was inside the 10. That's what the penalty. Now cut the rubbish. You can go and have a rest.
Rorty in the bin for 10.
You're going to follow him, mate. I'm going to tell you, I'm not. Jeff, mate, you're going to follow him. No, mate, you've got to get the blood away. Sheriff, blood, mate. Mate, you're going to have a rest as well.
12 aside. Driscoll, 10 in the bin, along with Ben Rorty, just to cool their heels a bit and their tempers.
They threw, what, 3 or 4 punches at each other, and they're in the bin for 10 minutes for what?
Yeah, I don't know.
What's going on?
Well, maybe Steve Clark's just, well,
there's the charge down there. I can't work out how he's offside, because once the opposition players touch the ball, you're onside automatically.
Yeah, I'm going to loss of that too, but I just feel with the sin binning, maybe he's sensing some tension between the two sides and putting his foot down before it erupts. Who knows?
2 forwards. And it's 12 apiece, and now it's a try score in the second half. Menzies working his way into the Melbourne red zone. Torrens waiting for it a dummy half to Hayden. Wide they go to Brown. Brown turning it back on the inside. There's no gap for Gardner to run into. Now it's Tuvey skirting out of dummy half. Gets it back to Brown. Brown to Gardner, standing a little flat. Out the back door it goes, picked up by Hayden. Hayden, Kalala, Menzies, Torrens, Hopewadi for the corner. Try time, Manly. Stephen Clark says it's a fair 4-pointer.
On the corner there, big Tawera Nico blowing up to the linesman. He thinks there was a forward pass involved there in the last pass. Allowed Hopewadi to go in the corner. Down to 12 men. They really did hang off in defence once again. The little halfback stops, turns, gets the ball away. That's where the movement should have been shut down. It comes out the back door, gets to Hayden. They go wide. You see Matt Guy say go wide. That tackle there should be made higher. It wasn't. I think that ball was all right. That's a very good try there for the Melbourne side, for the Manly side.
Yeah, just a classic case of not shutting the play down when it should have been. Right here with Seymour standing around watching the... And here, it should be shut down there, but then it was just a matter of going through the hands, catch and pass, and of course, John Hopewadi, a metre out from the try line, just unstoppable.
Well, they've hung in there, Manly, and again, Lazo, that comes back down to a Melbourne mistake earlier when Brett Kamali failed to get that ball away. We saw 2 guys sent to the sin bin, and Manly got the completion from there, and have played very, very well. They're right back into this game, but there's still plenty of football left for the Storm to come back into this game.
Exactly right. It just, I mean, both sides are guilty of errors, but it's another thing to capitalise on them, and Manly are just doing that a little bit better than the Storm at the moment.
Well, the most difficult attempt for Brown today. Hasn't missed one. This is a metre in from the broadcast touch. 50% from the touchline this year. (18-12) at the moment, this to give them a bit more breathing space, and he lost his footing as he kicked it. Still wasn't a bad attempt, just waved away, just to the left of the uprights. So, 2 tries to Manly in the second half, and they lead. 57th minute, 18 points to 12.
I just think of Siri Lang when he came in to make that tackle, of course, on Menzies. He should have gone high, ball and all. That was the only tackle that could be made then. He went low. They allowed Menzies to get the ball off. Out wide to Torrens, and then Hopewadi to score in the corner.
And Kalala plays it. 19 out from his own try line. Sidaris. Jimmy will like to celebrate his 200th first grade appearance with a victory here today. Kosef. Sidaris again. Hayden through the gap. Gardner on the inside. Takes it well. It was a great tackle also to stop the movement by Evans. But it's now Manly full of confidence, and Brown turning Marcus Bai around. It's too big though. So that's going to relieve a bit of pressure on the Storm, but gee, some gaps are opening up now.
And certainly out wide they are, Greg Clark. It's an area that's really let them down. Sedaris gives a great ball. He just finds it on the outside, and Hayden, he picks him up there. He could have given that ball there. Andrew King was absolutely flying onto it.
So now Bowden plays it. 12 or 13 from halfway. Manly offside, inside the 10, a relieving penalty, and Melbourne will take it graciously, let me tell you.
This is where the young halfback's got to really take control now, set his side, get close to the pace and put something out nice and wide on for the outside backs.
The offload to Gaia.
I think it's very important that Melbourne don't panic. There's still plenty of football left in this, and they use their sets of 6, but don't panic and don't try to play catch-up football. There's another good 22 minutes of play, and they get right back into this game.
Nikau running to the defensive line. Taken ball and all. Penalty again. Inside the 10.
Jeff.
Well, we see quite a lot of this as we listen in.
You're all standing up here, mate. You've got to get back.
Melbourne wanted the quick tap, but the blue time off.
Got to go, boys.
And they're going to have a shot at goal here. So is that a compliment to the Manly defensive effort in the second half?
Well, I think it is, but it's also smart too. I think, you know, they're behind by 6. Get a 2 points here. Hopefully they get back down there, and if they score a converted try, they're in front.
Well, they showed that against Newcastle, didn't they? They can't score in the last minute of the play. All the guys will have to take control. I think I agree with you, Glenn Lazarus. Put the pressure back on them. You're only 4 points of difference.
So Matty Gaia with an opportunity here to bridge the gap a little. Also an opportunity for the Melbourne Storm players to collect their thoughts. They allowed 2 tries to Manly in the second half. Coming up to the halfway mark of the second stanza. It's about 18 metres in from the touchline. About 19 metres back. Six points the difference at the moment. He's pushed it out to the right, but it's gone dead, so it'll be a restart with a 20-metre drop kick. So still a 6-point buffer there for the Sea Eagles, the Manly side.
So Matty Guy was pretty disappointed with that kick. He was well in his range to put it over. He just didn't hit it sweet enough.
Marcus Bai up to the halfway mark. And now inside Manly territory. This is Howe. Steve Mortimer has already said there's no need to panic, and if you look at the statistics, Melbourne certainly do play with petrol in the tank. 42% of their points scored in the last quarter of the matches. That's the highest percentage in the NRL.
And Kamali just got absolutely smashed there by Anthony Koala. I think that was the man. Just took him straight out of play after he passed the ball. He's back on his feet now. That'd have to be a penalty.
Well, this one's even closer for Gaia.
Was that a bad one or what? What's the story? Okay. Number 6, Adam Hayden. Back over there. Yeah, well, yeah, this penalty will be going in. Just listen.
The ball was well and truly gone. It came through late, and there may well have been
Adam.
a hint of an elbow, okay?
But you're not sure. On report? Okay. Okay. Thanks, Scotty. Okay. So you hear what the report, mate? I didn't see it. It was in back play. That's what he's there for. Okay. He said he's not sure about what you used or where the point of contact was. So I'll put on the report for that reason. There's still a penalty here.
So Adam Hayden goes on report. Stephen Kearney on report for an earlier tackle.
Well, I must admit my first reaction was that looked rather late.
The guy is going to have a shot at goal here from right in front. This is the tackle here. Very late. Well, yes.
Well, I don't think anything's going to happen to him anyway.
No,
Let me tell you.
No, a little bit late.
I thought it was Anthony Coelho. I'll take that back. It was Hayden. I don't think there'll be any problems there for the young 5'8".
Sagai is now about 5 or 6 metres infield from where he attempted the earlier shot at goal. That's better. The Raiders back on track, and 4 points the difference. It is now Manly leading by 18 to 14, 62nd minute.
Well, again, I just say that I think that's pretty smart. We're within 4 points with 18 minutes to go. There's still plenty of time, and if we can manage to score one under the sticks, you pretty well guarantee you're in front by 2. Well, that's what I'm hoping.
Yes, an unbiased comment there from the
very.
Melbourne Storm captain.
Manly, they can't afford to slow the game down either. I think they've just got to keep going right along with their sets of 6, putting pressure on the Melbourne side. Once you go into your shell, it can always sort of backfire on you when you play footy.
2 men in the sin bin, ready to come back out. Doughty for the Storm and Driscoll for the Sea Eagles. Russell Bowden got it out to Nikau and Kamali. Showed it, shaped a pass, and now gets it back to Gaia. So they weren't entitled really to be inside Manly territory, but now they are. Short ball from Nikau out to Rua. And Swain out of dummy half, and then picking up Anderson to Tony Martin. Taken though by Terry Hill. Kamali got away from the chase from Menzies. Gets the kick across, and Hopewadi holds his ground. Takes it well. And it takes 4 of them in the end to put the big man down.
Well, that's the best set of 6 I've seen the Storm do today. I mean, maybe the last tackle could have been a little bit more effective, but they went from receiving the ball from the kickoff. They were actually on Manly's 20, and a crossfield kick went straight to Hopewadi, but just shows that maybe they're prepared now to be a little bit more patient and just do the little things right.
Well, here's Driscoll after 10 minutes in the sin bin, driven back, and a good tackle from Bowden, and also in there was Rua. Adamson, well, he's popped that one forward. Well, that's one of his traits, isn't it, Phil Adamson, trying to get the pass around the tackler.
And it looks absolutely brilliant when it comes off, but of course with a play like that there is that big risk of having the ball, as we saw, being knocked out. So unfortunately not coming off for him and the Manly side.
Yeah, particularly in your own half too, like losing the ball like that, it's almost like, you know, cutting your own throat, because this gives the Melbourne Storm a great opportunity now to get right back into this game and go to the lead.
18 to 14, Manly leading. Some treatment being handed out now to Andrew King, the fullback.
There's the tackle. I think he actually falls into the tackle there.
Maybe got an accidental knee into the chest as well.
It's an occupational hazard.
Yeah, certainly no malice involved in that one, but he's okay. King takes his place back in the defensive line.
And this is when Kamali's got to run from the base of the scrum, put some pressure on the Manly defence.
Well, he passed it out to Anderson, and now it's to Martin. Just as Cliffy Lyons lost his footing, a half gap opened up, but Menzies was there to read it and shut the gap down. Now it's Kearney, still getting close to the line. Kearney, well, for a moment there, it looked as if he was going to cross over. 1 metre out. Rorty can't find a way through. He'll take the tackle. The back slam there, but it was okay. Kamali picks up Rua. And real pressure now on Manly as they try to defend this lead. Just 4 points in it. Swain to Kamali. Kamali holds it up, gives it to Kearney. Kearney gets the fend going, gets it back to Rorty. Rorty for the line, and Ben Rorty will score a try for Melbourne there. Well, they're backing it well and truly. They've locked it up at 18 all. playing a patient game. Rorty back from the sin bin, locked up at 18 apiece, 66th minute.
He did a great ball movement here. Watching they come up a little bit too quick. He puts the ball in behind, and Steve Kearney does a magnificent job to hold the ball out in that right arm, gets the ball back inside. Hopewadi wasn't too sure if he should come in or stay out. He was in two minds, but they come up with a very good try.
Well, Phil Adamson will probably be feeling the worst out of the entire Manly side. Not only did he do that error, but he's missed a tackle there as well. So he'll probably be looking to make up for that in the future.
I think he has, because now he's been taken from the field.
Yeah, good work here by Brett Kamala. Lovely wide pass. Steve Kearney, I'm a fan of his. He's always able to offload the ball. Again, Lazo put that down again to a Manly mistake. Melbourne have made two mistakes. Manly have capitalised on that. So again, I keep reiterating, the side that makes the less errors is going to go a long way towards winning this important game today.
We keep saying it, Turvey, but I don't know whether the players realise that. I mean, looking at the game in its entirety, it's just, I mean, we saw that error there. We've seen errors from the Storm as well. Both sides just not prepared to graft away and win the football game.
24 errors in the match so far. That stat is too high. But 12 apiece, both sides guilty. 3 tries apiece. Now Matt Geyer. 5 metres in from touch, trying to give the Storm the lead again. They led by 4 at half-time, Melbourne.
There's not that much breeze either, Greg. It's a difficult position, but there's hardly any breeze.
Matt Geyer. It's not going to come round for him. It's waved away. So we're locked up at 18-all, 68th minute at Brookvale. So who has the most petrol left in the tank? History so far in 99 would suggest Melbourne. But Manly are on their home ground and so desperate for points to try and claw their way up the ladder. Started the round equal last position with Western Suburbs.
Interesting to see this set of 6 by Melbourne, how they approach it, go forward and get a good kick in, or maybe try and promote the ball a little bit.
And Kearney, week by week, starting to slot into this Melbourne pattern. Some nice touches today from the Kiwi international. Kamali, dummying, finding the hole. Brett Kamali, fullback to beat. Martin on the inside. He goes, in fact, out to Marcus Bai on the outside. And the cover got across there. Well, they stood off Kamali. You don't do that. He's got plenty of petrol left in the tank. Now it's Anderson to Rorty, the try scorer, wrapped up, thrown into the turf by Lyons. Swain at dummy half. Here's Howe. They stand and wait for him, but now Howe offloads. For a moment there, I thought he'd throw it to the Manly player Cunningham, but somehow Swain came up with it. Kamali, old banana kick off to shaped a kick to the left. It ended up on the right, but Manly read it pretty well.
I tell you what, the Manly chasers were good then, weren't they? They've rushed it. Kamali to try and make a mistake. As now Hopewadi makes a good 10 metres from Manly on the left-hand side.
Yeah, Gary, that was great running up by Manly, putting pressure on Brett Kamali. Look, field position becomes very important now with 10 minutes to go. Is getting up close to those sticks. I'm sure if they can get up there, either side will have a shot at a field goal.
Well, we're locked up on the scoreboard and on the completion rate stats. We're locked up as well, 15 out of 27. This is Gardner. 3 Storm players in there to stop him in his tracks. They get the kick away. Robbie Ross, who's probably had a quiet game for his standards, backing up from the state of origin. Now it's Marcus Bai. So we're inside the final 10 minutes now. Ross taken there by Tuvey. And Howe up towards halfway. Bowden, the inside pass, but Manly were waiting for it. Rorty now, and Kamali. Well, he got out of that one. I don't know how he had 3 of them hanging on to him. Now it's Nikau.
10 minutes to go in the game, as you said, Greg. That's when he needs to run the ball, Kamali, all the time.
Here he is, Kamali giving it to Matt Rua. Ross was on his hip, but he couldn't get the pass away. Final tackle coming up. Kamali got the kick away. I thought for a moment he's going to shape for a 1-pointer. King got back there, and he'll play it right on his own try line. Manly not out of danger yet as Frew picks up a couple of metres from dummy half. Now it's Lyons. Gardner. They're offside, Melbourne.
Silas, the big fellow, shakes his head. You don't think that was a penalty?
Well, it doesn't matter if it was or it wasn't. I mean, Melbourne should have just made sure they were back. They had Manly where they wanted them. Now they've just relieved the pressure.
As Kosef plays it. 18 all. Manly with an opportunity to work into a field goal position. Maybe still a shade early for the thought of a field goal. But they'll take it if it's handed to them on the plate. And they're certainly working into field goal position. They're on the 30.
Well, who's the field goal expert in the Manly team? One of the halves?
Be Brown or Hayden.
Brown or Hayden, yeah.
I think Cliffy might put his hand up too, fellas.
Here's Kosef to Menzies. Final tackle coming up now. And here's Cliff Lyons. He's in position. He put his hand up and he put it down very quickly. It's waved away. So we'll come back to the 20.
I think it's the right play too. Get that 1 point in front early. He had plenty of time to kick this ball. He's probably done that at training many a times. Probably got it.
Probably has, but there was one difference there.
The
Bit of pressure.
opposition were there.
Asiri Lang.
That was like one of your efforts, Lazo.
Oh, I think I might have been able to do better on that, too. What do you reckon?
Yours got in the air.
They 10 from halfway as Nikau plays it. Swain to Kamali. Dummying. Probing. Kamali. I always get the feeling in this last 10 minutes or so that Kamali's going to come up with something special.
I mean, they've hit him with everything but the kitchen sink, and he's still managing to brush players off and making breaks, and he's the difference out here at the moment. I mean, he's getting the Melbourne Storm side down the other end of the field.
Here's Kamali. Goes to the air. By chasing. Got a good take by King.
That's a great take by Andrew King. Under all sorts of pressure with Marcus Bai flying through now, but now Terry Hill, he goes forward for them. Have a look at that. Never takes his eyes off the ball. Tremendous work there by the fullback.
Frew, he's lost it. This could spell danger now for Manly. Great field position, and immediately they go wide through Tony Martin stepping. So that's the 0 tackle. Anderson a dummy half to Evans. Evans straight ahead now into the red zone. Locked up at 18 all at Brookvale. Here's Kamali. He's already scored a double. This time he fires it out to Matt Geyer. Rorty at dummy half. They go to the short side. Rorty looking for a double and into touch. Charged his arm down the short side. Tried to call Asiri Lang on the inside. Lang came inside, but Rorty went on with it, and the defence was too good.
Oh, what about Adam Hayden? Unbelievable. Great defence along with Hopewadi. He held the ball up, held it up, and just went bang. Great tackle. I can't understand why Melbourne didn't go for the drop goal in that set of 6.
But now it's Torrens. And he will play it inside his own 20. Kosef. Driscoll. Roar over the top. Nikau underneath. Still a couple of tackles remaining, but they're still inside their own territory now. Turvey looking for runners out wide, finds Gardner. Final tackle coming up. Hayden. Robbie Ross has to turn. and picks it up. 5 metres out from his own line. There's a swinging arm there, but the referee says it was okay. Now it's Marcus Bai. Menzies looks to be a little hurt after that one. Now it's Aziri Lang. So the back three doing a good job so far in this set of 6 as Menzies has got the wobbly boots on. Now it's Swain heading up towards halfway. Kamali a dummy half, and Stephen Kearney stepping off the left foot. Got it back now to Kamali. Kamali back to Marquette. Final tackle coming up. Swain to Kamali. Kamali, long range attempt at a field goal, and it's over the black dot. It's a 1-pointer. It doesn't matter how much you clear the crossbar by. It can be a millimetre. It went over, and so they are in front, the Melbourne Storm. 19 points to 18, 77th minute.
Well, we saw a couple of weeks ago Ricky Stewart put one up a bit further out, and that's just an amazing 30, what would you say, 35 metres out, and it's just scraped over.
Oh, I can't believe it.
Leading by a point.
Well, it's just amazing that they were only 15, 20 metres from the goal, the set of 6 before that, and no one had a shot. Like you said, 35 metres out there, and they decided to do one.
I've got to say, fellas, just on the top of that field goal, Melbourne Storm set of 6, then they went 60 metres, so it was a great set of 6. Good runs from dummy half and great running by the forwards to enable Kamali to pop that one over.
Yeah, signs of a class side that can really get down to the other end of the park without panicking. And now this is Kearney. Although I must say that they haven't really played like a great side for 80 minutes of the game today, the Melbourne Storm. But if they can come away with the 2 competition points and play at this standard, below their normal standard, they should be pretty happy to get away with it. Possession going Melbourne's way, 52%. And they've spent 53% of the match in their own half. But they lead by 1 on the score sheet. Manly not out of it, though. This is Frew. He'll play it on the 20.
Just watch for Cliffy Lyons. He'll get the ball shortly and try to put someone through a gap. As he does now.
Gap on the outside. This is Torrens. Torrens to Hopewadi. Big chase now by Gaia. Hopewadi had Menzies there. He had also Torrens. Real problems now for Melbourne. Can they hold this one back from the brink? Here's Torrens. He scored 1. Cutting back infield. Desperate defence by the Storm. Cliffy Lyons at dummy half. Showing it. Standing. Got it back to Driscoll. Driscoll a one-handed pass. Handball over the top. Gartner. Gartner gets the hands free. Does he know he's left it behind? And it's been knocked on. Knocked on by the Storm. So Manly will get another crack at it. Oh, what a finish. What a finish.
All started with the man, Cliffy Lyons, going to the line. Their own area, 25, got a great ball away. Very unlucky that Manly. They certainly could have come up with another try.
Well, I think they'll look at this tape, and I think John Hopewadi should have looked. He had the number 3 there, Albert Torrens on his left-hand side, with only the try line in front of him.
Terry Hill with a real juggle on that occasion, but just managed to control the ball, and now it's Gartner back on the inside, probing. They're down by 1, the Seagulls. Tuvey to Frew. Frew, he's taken by and also Martin over on the far side. Tuvey fires it out to Lyons, the playmaker, then to Brown. The long ball, chance here, Torrens back on the inside, and Kearney got across on Kallela. Kallela got to his feet again. They keep it alive. It's like handball out there at the moment. They're 11 metres out from the line. The Seagulls, they go to the short side. Menzies, he's already scored 1, puts it on the ground. Robbie Ross is going to run it over the dead ball line. Manly are going to get another crack at them. Will the clock beat them? 39 and a half minutes gone in the second half. Melbourne leading by 1. Time off. They've stopped the clock as Melbourne take plenty of time to retrieve the ball.
Well, I know it'll sound like a biased comment, but I just felt that was a wonderful set of 6 in defence by the Melbourne Storm. An enormous amount of pressure put on them. Manly desperate to score a try, but they just held them out and held them out. Wonderful defence by the Melbourne Storm.
I just wonder if Manly will go for the drop goal to even the game up. I think Cliffy Lyons will be in there. be happy to go away with 1 point and not go away with any.
Time on. Kamali, the low trajectory drop kick. Comes back now to Brown. There's the shot at the 1-pointer. It's away to the right. I tell you what, I don't think it missed by much. The crowd thought it was there. They went for it on the first tackle. And there is the full-time siren. They won't have time for a restart. They probably had time for another tackle or two, though.
Yeah.
So Melbourne come away with it. They win it by 19 points to 18 after they led by 12 points to 8 at half-time.